Hey everybody, today we're going to be looking at what you can do with your leftover beef roast. Because you could just reheat it, or you could do like I do. Anytime I have leftover slow cooked beef roast or something, I will cut everything up super fine. This has potato, carrot, and onion in it. So I'll start out with some butter, real butter. I don't use margarine. Always real butter, something probably got from my mom. She hated margarine. That pan a little coat. Let that heat a little bit. And this is just a good way to, you can stretch this out a little bit. You can do like if you add some beets to that, you can do like a red flannel hash. You can do that with corned beef or regular beef. And you can have that with eggs or toast. So you'll get a little bit more out of your meal. So we just throw that in. Gonna let this cook up a little bit first. Start to heat. I find it's just a good way to stretch what you have. If you're a family, say of 4, and you have your leftovers, you cut this up, and you can add to this. You could always add, you could boil some cabbage, cut it up, put it in there if you want, or you could add some different vegetables, some mushrooms, or pretty much anything, green beans, whatever you want to do. Just let that kind of cook. And again, I use a little butter because I think it adds more flavor to it. But this is just a good way to stretch your meal. Cut that up. But I will add a little butter out. I like to try to get this, it's basically a hash is what it is. I kind of get this a little bit of a crust. And then we're going to add our meat. And this is cut, as you can see, just super fine. It's pretty lean, there's not a lot of fat on there. So it is a good thing to add a little butter so that it's not super dry. And I always add pepper. Always pepper. And garlic salt. This is good also if you just have leftover gravy. You can, once this is cooked up a little, you can heat it and pour it over, or however you want to do it. Like I said, I find the extra butter just gives it a little bit of moisture, because the potatoes and starch and the carrots will really absorb a lot of the moisture. You don't want it too dry. Just got to let this brown up a little. Let that cook up. Up and around. It looks just a teeny bit dry, so I'll add a little more butter. But adding beets, like I said, will make a nice red flannel hash. Or, like I say, boil some cabbage. Cut that up fine. It's a good way to stretch food if you're on a budget. Just gonna let that brown. As that's browning, I'll just throw in a couple things of toast. Couple slices. I like to have any kind of hash with eggs, but here's the doorbell. So that's looking pretty good. Smells pretty good. A little more pepper. I can't smell it. It's not enough. The butter I'm adding just to give it a little more oil to hopefully brown. Gonna let that cook up. That's browning. That's all getting the butter cooking through. Give it a stir. Alright. Now that's looking much better. You can see the crust starting to cook up. You just let that set. It will cook that crust, which is the best way. Okay, so we got the toast. Butter that up. like to let that set, and I will show you why. Let that set and I'll show you why. When I flip this next time, if I leave it there, I'll have a nice dark brown crust. See the crust? Beautiful. Alright. We will move this over. And plate this. And that, you know, a couple people at least. Some eggs, some toast. I'll just throw it all on the plate. And you're good to go. You can add cheese to that, you can add anything you want to it. So that is a good recipe to use up your leftover beef. You can do it with pork roast as well, or chicken, whichever you'd like to do. So stay safe.